welcome to what I watched in March of 2023. It really was a slow month for me. I did not watch a lot of things, so let's get into it. It's going to be very, very quick. First off, I watched Hunt Her, Kill Her, which I'm not going to say much about because I do have a full review out for that film. It seems like nobody has heard of this film, so please go check out that review. And then next up, there's also Operation Fortune. So these two films, Hunt Her, Kill Her and Operation Fortune, I did Letterboxd After Dark videos for. So if you want to see some funnier reviews for both of these films, please go check that out in my shorts section. But as for Hunt Her, Kill Her, overall, again, you can go check out that review. And Operation Fortune, I was going to do a review, but really, it's just kind of forgettable at the end of the day. It was a fun one-time ride. I like Aubrey Plaza. Jason Statham's fun, you know. It's entertaining at the least, but it didn't feel like it had that real Guy Ritchie flair. Next up, I watched Evil Dead 2013 leading up to the release of Evil Dead Rise on April 21st. I really cannot wait for that film. Evil Dead 2013 really surprised me. I totally forgot how much is truly in that film. There's so much blood. It's a lot. And then next up, I watched Scream 6, followed by Scream 6. Yes, I watched this film back to back. I love this film. It is fantastic. Honestly, it is one of the best horror sequels out there. There's a lot of people that are saying that, yeah, it has too many similarities to Scream 2. I think, yes, it does have similarities, but I don't think it has too many Drop my phone. But I don't think it has too many similarities to Scream 2. I also am a huge fan of the twist, even though I could see it coming, more so than Richie and Amber in Scream 5. Again, if you're watching this, Scream 5 has been out for a year and a couple months now. So, yeah, Richie and Amber I felt like was more of a surprise than the killers in this film, although there was one killer in Scream 6 that I wasn't able to guess, and I'll let you go watch the film if you haven't seen it, because that film hasn't been out for too long. But Scream 6, again, it's my favorite film of the year so far. I have a feeling that Evil Dead Rise is going to absolutely blow Scream 6 out of the water, though. I'm an Evil Dead fan. Although Scream 6 is my favorite horror franchise of all time, I still think Evil Dead Rise is just going to blow Evil Dead 6 out of the water. But next up, we have my second favorite film of the year so far, which is John Wick Chapter 4. There really haven't been too many great films released this year that I have personally had the chance of seeing. The only two films really that I would consider like purchasing and owning at this point are Scream 6 and John Wick Chapter 4. I would purchase both of these films, but John Wick Chapter 4, it was a nice way to end John Wick's story. I do feel like it totally could have and probably should have ended in John Wick Chapter 3. There were a couple moments within this film where I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel the runtime, but then they thankfully pull you back in with some more insane action. But John Wick Chapter 4 is a really fun time. You don't necessarily have to see it in theaters. I think you could totally rent this and watch it at home and have an absolute blast. And then next up, I watched ICU from 2019. This was #1 on Netflix. It was absolutely wild. I didn't even really watch the trailer. I watched like the first 15, 20 seconds. And then my girlfriend and I were like, oh yeah, I'm intrigued at the very least. If it's bad, we can change it. But it just kept on twisting. It's not the greatest film ever, but it's not bad in any way. It just keeps on twisting things in a way that you're like, what the hell? Like, it really was fantastic to watch. It was just one of the films that, like, I haven't had a film twist with my mind like this film did in a very long time. So that was fun to experience. And I definitely recommend it if you have Netflix. It is creepy, so don't watch it with like kids, but it's about frogging. If you know what that is, it's going to creep you out even more. I had no idea what it is, and with the context of this film, it definitely makes you want to check your closets, check your attic, check your basement. So that's all I'm going to say about ICU. Next up, the last thing that I watched in the month of March. Yes, it was a very slow month for me, but the last thing I watched was A Spoonful of Sugar on Shudder. This film has some merit, I will say. Like, it's entertaining, but it wasn't for me. The ending I felt like I could see coming. Not necessarily how it happened, but I could see the things being laid out in front of us. And that just wasn't that enjoyable for me. So A Spoonful of Sugar isn't a film I would watch again. If you are a huge horror fan, you might like this. I've definitely heard the lead actress being compared to Esther of Orphan, and I definitely see some similarities in there, but two totally different films, so don't go into it expecting Orphan if that's the case. But yeah, Spoonful of Sugar was a kind of lackluster way to end off the month of March. But I'm very excited to talk about this month, the month of April, what I will be watching, because I have already started it off with a bang. I will obviously not share that here, but I started off April 1st with a really fun film that I hadn't seen in forever, and there's going to be a lot of films like that in the What I Watched of April 2023 video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this is a very short one. Didn't watch that much this month, so thank you guys for watching. Let me know what I should be watching down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next month in What I Watched April 2023. Peace.